The proper way to use a leg lock is as a tool to help you pass the guard. So if you can threaten a leg lock, legitimately threaten it, it's going to make the other person more wary when you're trying to pass their guard, and you can use that to set up a pass, right? And maybe you do get the leg lock, and maybe you use it to set up a pass, but you become much more dangerous when you're passing the guard. So that's what we're going to use. That's how we're going to use it. You can go into them standing. You can go into them from the ground. The easiest way to go into it in the beginning is from combat base. So I'll be inside Todd's guard. And what this was if I'm in Todd's closed guard, right, and I'm here, the problem with this, even if I open up the guard and he opens up his legs and then I'm playing here and starting to pass again, he can lock it back up, right? And so what guys started to do was do this. And this is what we would call combat base. Okay, and this was the first evolution, because this just makes it a little harder for try and close your guard again. Makes it a little harder for him to try and close his guard, and now I can knee pass on either side. I can knee pass this way, I can knee pass that way. So this is combat base. And then from here, people started to stand, and that's where the Hiba guard came from, and then the leg lock game and all that evolved out of that, right? But this comes back to here. He's gonna bring his feet up, probably put them on, yep, and you're gonna be in a position like this. And this is a great spot to learn how to do the foot lock. We can do it from here, and then we can stand and do it basically the same way. And I can enter either way, okay? So I can lay my foot down on this side, which is the way it's normally done for rules reasons, or I can go on this side, which is easier. This stopped happening in IBJJF because of the reaping rule, but that shouldn't affect your jiu-jitsu, right? It doesn't matter what the rules are. So the first one is just to go this way, okay? So I'm just gonna talk about the entry, and then we'll talk about the grip. So like everything else in jiu-jitsu, it's about controlling the position. The finish is always very easy. You can control the position, you can break his foot, okay? So the important stuff is happening at his hip. Okay? So this is the position. I want to keep this foot off my hip. He's going to want it on there. I don't want to let it on there, right? And I'm going to catch this one and grab it. That's all I want to do for now. Don't worry about your grip too much on that, right? My foot is in his tailbone. I'm going to fall to my right shoulder and hook my foot in his hip bone nice and tight like that, right? This is my position, okay? And now what I want to do is I want to try and control Todd's hip bone. So my foot is going right up, my right foot is going right up against his sitting bone, and my heel is right in his hip joint. So try and move your hip around a little bit, Todd. That's what I want to control. I want my knees pinched together tight, okay? And then from here, very slowly, the finish is easy. And I can show you all kinds of different grips. All that matters with this is that I'm in the right spot, which I'll show you in a minute on his Achilles tendon, and that my hand doesn't slide. There's a million different ways I can grab, but as long as I don't do those two things, then I can break his foot, okay? So we'll just do the entry first. We can go in closed guard. He opens up the closed guard. I go combat base. I grab the foot, my hand is here. Right shoulder, foot over. Knees pinched together. This is up against the tailbone. This is here. See how my knees push through? I don't want this knee to go down here. This has to be pushed through, so I'm driving with my foot this direction, right? Like I'm kicking him in the butt. Knees pinched together tight, okay? We'll talk about the finish. Don't worry about the finish. Just enter and hold into the position real quick, okay? Try it back and forth. Go ahead. So here now, we'll go to the other side. The other side is way more common just because of the reaping rule. IBJJF has a rule where if I'm standing in Todd's guard, see, if I'm like this, and he swings this foot around and puts this foot over, this is going to be, okay, people started to get their knees blown out, so that became illegal to do. So you have to be really careful. If he brings his foot up, it can't cross a certain point here, right? And that's the only reason why the foot locks occur mostly on the other side. There's no technical reason why it's better. It's just a variation of the rules. Okay, so you can go either way. Okay, so second version, same thing. I'm in combat base. This time my foot's going to come around this way. I'm going to bring my foot all the way around in his hip and fall to my left shoulder. Okay, so now same thing. My foot's in his butt, pushing this way. My heel is in his hip bone, and it's tight. He's going to want to grab that and push it off. So that has to be tight. That has to be tight and pushing a little bit into him. Try and push it off.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's got to be heavy there, right? And then again, I'll show you the finish in a minute. The finish is Very similar, okay? The entry now onto the other side. Go ahead and try it. Go ahead and lay down for me, Tom. All these entries you can do from standing. It's just much easier. I mean, I could be here and drop into it. It's just much easier to teach from combat base. The grip, okay? There are different kinds. If we're talking about a straight foot lock, your best position is right above the heel on the Achilles joint, okay? So we'll just talk about the grip for a minute. If my arm is here, diagonal, up against his calf, that's not going to produce the same pressure, right? I want to break his ankle. So this has to be down like this. This is that's my positioning, right? That's a big difference. So as long as my arm, there's different ways to grab. Some guys go like this, that's a good grip, right? A good solid figure four. Some guys go here, right? It doesn't matter. I've used all of the above. Some people like to tuck the elbow. What matters is I'm in the right spot on his Achilles tendon and my hand doesn't slide. If my hand, as I lean my body back, if my hand starts to slide, I lose leverage. Don't worry about moving your foot. But if I lean back like this and my hand slides down, I'm not breaking his ankle, right? But if my arm stays in place like this as I lean back, that's where the pressure comes, okay? So that's why this can't move. So when I'm in my position like this, what matters is my fist stays up, it doesn't slide. I have control of his hip, and now literally I can go like this. Lean my body back and push my hip forward, and you can see how much pressure I can put on the ankle right there, right? As long as my wrist doesn't slide, I'll go slow. That's a lot of pressure on his foot, and then they'll tap. Same on the other side. So I want to be on that Achilles joint, right? I want to make sure that foot doesn't slip, or that my forearm doesn't slide down, and then I hip in. And I'm just looking back, and it's my hip, that whole body that breaks his foot, okay? And if I switch, I slide my hand down here. It might be painful, but I don't think it would tap top, right? Or if I go here, and as I lean back, my hand slides. I don't have it, right? But if I keep my grip here, then I have it. What he's going to want to do is swing his heel up. Yes, that's his move, right? That is the correct and good counter. If he gets his heel onto my chest, just like that, I've lost it. So initially, as I drop into the foot lock, all I care about is that doesn't happen. Get your heel out. I can't get it. That's why guys drop this elbow. Right? My elbow's out here, rotate the heel out. So what they're doing is they're coming in here, right? Once I get to this position, now all that matters is that it doesn't slide. And sometimes I'll adjust it because I don't feel like I'm in the right spot.
Okay.
And then I'll go.
Gotcha.
So I guess my point behind that is when you grab the foot and lay back, you're making sure he doesn't heel out, and then you can go right into the perfect spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, there's two things that are dangerous, right? The first most obvious thing is slamming on a submission. You never want to do that with your training partners in the gym. It's also bad jiu-jitsu. It shows you don't have control. Good control, like you should be able to put on a submission slow. And if he's not tapping, I'd be like, Todd, you need to tap on the break your foot. Right? There should be enough time to have a conversation like that if you have good jiu-jitsu. So that's number one. Number two, you have to be careful throwing your leg across the knee joint. This is where people get hurt, right? So I'll give you an extreme example of this. I'll go very slow. If I was in a position like this, and I start to go here, this is where it becomes dangerous for Todd's knee, right? And I start to do a heel hook, he can't even roll. You roll that way?
Yeah.
Right? And I'll start to straighten it in. But just me acquiring this position could blow out his knee, right? So I'm not going to do that in the gym. I'm going to be careful of his knee. My placement is I want my foot on his hip bone, I'm not trying to come across Todd's knee to hurt his knee. So when I go for it, that's what I want. But see, I didn't bang his knee all the way over here. I just get to that spot right there. Make sense? So be careful. You want to bring your foot here, but you don't want to be going over like this on their leg when you're throwing a leg lock, right? If you're worried about that, do this side. Yeah. This side is much safer. That's why this side is legal in that, right? If you want to be more careful with that, then fall to this side. I don't have to worry about that hurting his knee. When I go that side, I can just go here, right, and drop into it. Make sense? We're gonna go back to the exact same guard passing drill. Okay. I just want you to try and insert, your goal is to pass the guard and do 1 or 2 footlocks in each round, okay? So what I'm trying to learn how to do is use my footlock attack to set up my guard pass, right? He doesn't know. I'm just learning. Once I've tapped him once, now every time I go to grab an ankle, right, I'm inside Todd's guard, and every time I go like that, now he's much more wary, and that helps set up my pass. That's the whole point, okay? Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates, because we're updating this every week, and make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.